Whoa! You guys know what that is? That there is bear crap. I'm gonna try and keep my eyes peeled for black bears. That's a smaller pile of bear crap. Mama bear with cub? Question mark? I am suddenly wondering if maybe I should have brought more saw fuel and bar oil. Well, that is a problem. This saw is like taking a knife to a gunfight here. Look what I found more of. Man, they must be like all over this area. What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the channel. On today's video, we are heading out to a trail that I've been kind of meaning to ride all season, and I pretty much just haven't gotten around to it. And yeah, it's crazy how fast the season just disappears. All the fall colors are in full swing. Temperatures are dropping by the day, and I'm running out of time to get my trails in. So yeah, we're at that time of the year where I'm trying to get as many rides in as possible. Anyways, usually I start my videos actually on the trails themselves, but yeah, this is a pretty spectacular mountain pass. I thought I'd share that with you guys. What's really cool whenever I ride this road is, man, these mountains, they make you feel tiny. Because right now we're probably at, if I had to guess, like 6,000 feet elevation. And then you look at those and they just tower up above us. It's really neat. Oh, all the colors are so cool. So I think the commute to this trail is going to end up being about 40 miles, plus or minus. So the full ride today, you know, round trip, that's probably going to be about 100-something miles for me, maybe just shy of. So it's going to be a good sized ride. I'm hoping to make full use of the daylight hours that I got. We got about, what time is it now? Okay, it's about, oh crap. Okay, it's 2:30 now. Gosh, I did not realize I got out of the house that late. So, when we get to the trail, I'm gonna have like a hard 5 hours. When I say hard 5 hours, I mean by the end of those 5 hours, it is dark. I do this to myself repeatedly, where I end up getting out of the house later than I want to, and then I finish these trails with just enough time, you know. But I have a headlight, so you know, I'm not too worried about that. The only thing that I do worry about is there is a very distinct temperature shift in these mountains. When the sun starts going down, it could be a pleasant 70-degree day, and then the sun goes down and suddenly it's hovering around 40 to 45, and by the middle of the night it'll probably drop below freezing into these mountains. Yeah, it gets pretty cold out here, and I did bring some additional cold weather clothes with me. I usually do that. Sometimes I talk about it, sometimes I don't, but I carry some merino wool base layers, and then I also have a windbreaker, because man, believe it or not, a windbreaker and some merino wool can save your life in the mountains. I'm a hardcore believer in that. Based on experience, that combination of having some merino wool and a windbreaker has saved me from hypothermia, hands down. So yeah, I am carrying that, so if we did get a bit of a late exit to the trail and we had to ride out the whole commute back to town in the dark, I'd probably be fine, just on the cold side. 41 miles later, and we have arrived at the trail. Starting off with a nice little bit of exposure. Such a sweet river view, though. So awesome. I gotta say, there's something about these like exposed river edge trails that always get me nervous. Because it's one thing for me to have a trail with a lot of exposure, and I do a lot of those. I've done lots and lots of those, but it's always the ones that are by the water. I'll show you what I mean, where the dirt crumbles. So that's what always makes me nervous. Crumbly dirt means if I get too close to the edge of a trail, I could have my wheels slip, and I'm not a fan of that. Because that's the other thing you got to think of. It's like, if I were to have my bike slip right now and slide down towards the river, it's not like the river's flowing very fast, so there's some potential to push the bike, or I guess ride it through the water across some stretch to get to the other side. But man, you wouldn't really want to, you know what I mean? So if memory serves, this trail is going to keep us along the river for a little while before ultimately taking us up into the mountains. So I'd say maybe a quarter of this trail is going to be on the river like this, and the rest of it is going to be through the mountains. Per usual, the thing that always makes me the most nervous about these kinds of trails, besides the sandy dirt that I was mentioning earlier, it's the rocks that hang into the trail on the right side, because those are the things that you smack your foot peg, those are the things that you smack your handlebars on, and that can take a bike that's riding perfectly straight, everything's going fine, and then suddenly one bump and your front wheel is aimed the wrong way off the trail. Oh, I got you, little buddy. That was close. I almost ran you over. Come on, little dude. Go on. Little snake on the trail. Oh yeah, nice little techie spot. Yeah, I should have aired down. Shoot. I gotta do that. I gotta air down my rear tire. I aired it back up for the commute to here. The challenging part is finding a stick that fits the exact size that I need. I think that is the one. Yeah, this tire still has plenty of meat left on it. Just needs a little better flex. Oh yeah, you can feel the difference immediately. Much happier. I'll be darned. There we go. Done deal. These are like pine cones of doom. They're like just enough to knock your wheel around in a spot where you don't want anything to knock your wheels around. Ah, more pine cones of doom. This may be the part where we start heading into the mountain. Dude, that looks fun. Not a whole lot left of the trail here. Rotten deadwood. Ho-ho. You guys know what that is? That there is bear crap. That's good to know. Looks like he's just been eating a boatload of berries. Yep, as I've always said, I ride trails that were made by people, but we share them with the animals too. They like to use these trails just like highways, the same way we like to use them for hiking and biking and horseback and all that stuff. And like I said this in a past video, not this video, but I said I see a bear every single year, and I haven't seen my bear yet. I don't like the look of this log. That looks so precarious, like it's gonna come down and slide into the river any day now. I'm gonna try and keep my eyes peeled for black bears. That right there is a much fresher pile of bear crap, and that's a smaller pile of bear crap. Ooh, mama bear with cub? Question mark. That's the cliche, right? You know, you never want to bump into a mama bear with cubs. My experience with black bears have always been the same. They split as soon as they hear a motor, or as soon as they know you're in the area. They're gone. They're out of here. And this is what they're eating. All these. I think Hollywood has kind of dramatized bears a little bit. Like, black bears are not out here to eat people. They really aren't. And just like any animal, they don't want to get hurt. So, yeah, their MO isn't to like come after you and pick a fight. They want to be left alone just as much as you kind of want to be left alone, you know? On another note, check out this view. It's a shame all that forested area burnt right there. I can't remember off the top of my head when this fire came through here, but it was a mean one. I wonder if this trail is like a feeding route for the bears, because I've seen so many more of those. Yeah, this right here, these little berry bushes, those are the berries that were in the bear scat. So I wonder if the bears really like this trail because of that. They just walk along it and eat all the berries they want. Because right now, I think the word is called hyperphagia. Bears are entering a state called hyperphagia where they're just eating, just packing on as much weight as they can before everything freezes over for the winter. Ooh, that looks fun. A little dicey. I am suddenly wondering if maybe I should have brought more saw fuel and bar oil. Literally at the very last second, I'm not even making this up, I took the saw fuel and the bar oil out of my backpack so I could stuff my windbreaker where those things fit. You may ask, why would you do that, Jack? Well, I thought there was a higher likelihood of it getting cold than me having to cut my way through a bunch of deadfall. All that rotten wood sawdust. Yeah, this stuff's super dense, and there's a lot of this rotted out, burnt up, dead trees. How much fuel do I have? Now I'm wondering. Alright, still pretty full tank of fuel. Super full tank of bar oil. Okay. I think we're gonna be alright. At the end of the day, worst case scenario, even if I do run out of saw fuel or bar oil, or I'll run out of saw fuel before I run out of bar oil. Typically the rule of thumb is you can get 2 tanks of bar oil per tank of saw fuel. And if you guys aren't familiar what bar oil is, it's basically the thing that lubricates your chain on your chainsaw. But yeah, at the end of the day, if I run out of saw fuel, I do have my backup handsaw, which pretty much every time I go ride in the woods, I have it. You know, whether I have the chainsaw or not, I always have the handsaw, because it's great for, one, getting yourself out of a bind if there's some deadfall in front of you, but 2, if you find yourself having to spend the night somewhere, it's a great tool to process firewood with. I use the Silky Saw Big Boy. That's literally what it's called. It's called the Big Boy. They have the Big Boy, I think the Little Boy, the Katana Boy, which is freaking huge. Yeah, if you've never heard of Silky Saws, I highly recommend them. They're awesome. I gotta keep my eye out because I should be reaching a point here fairly soon where I'm gonna reach a junction in the trail. I gotta make sure not to miss my turn. Looks like we might have made it. This is either the junction or that's a campsite. It could very well just be a campsite. Might be time for a map check or a GPS check. Though the GPS might not be able to work so well with this tree cover. I'm gonna go a little bit further, see if I can't break out of this dense tree line and get some sky above me. trail. See, this looks like a trail. That looks like an old hiking trail. Now let's get some sky coverage. Alright, good news. Map check and GPS check showed that we are on the right track. I gotta do my best to try and pick up the pace here. According to my odometer, we're about 7 miles into this ride. Well, actually, 7 miles on single track. In total, we're probably getting closer to 50 miles in. And yeah, that means we're halfway done with this trail. And I got probably 3 hours till dark, something like that. And when I say dark, I mean it is dark. There is no more light. I mean, good news is this is a really easy section, and if it keeps up like this, I'll be cruising out of here just fine. But I'm gonna try to pick up the pace a bit. Well, that is a problem. Huh. It's 5 o'clock. I have 3 hours of daylight. Limited saw fuel. I don't have any extra saw fuel because I took it out so I could put my jacket in my pack. And I have a 16-inch bar. This saw is like taking a knife to a gunfight here. Yeah, I don't know if I can clear this with the saw that I got. And it's not that I don't want to. I'm not trying to escape, doing the work here, but I'm kind of thinking about how limited daylight I have left, and if I have to cut anything else, I need to be able to cut that stuff. If I waste all my resources, my already limited resources on this, I risk pinching my bar and getting it stuck, running out of daylight. And if I ran out of saw fuel and I don't have enough saw fuel to get through the rest of this trail, if there's any more deadfall, I'm kind of screwed here. Yeah, right now, just because of how limited daylight I have left, and because I know it gets very cold in these mountains once it gets dark, I'm really going to try and keep my cutting stops to a minimum. If I was here earlier in the day with more saw fuel, more bar oil, I probably would have tried to clear it. Whoa! Man, how did I not see that to the last possible second? Whew. That was close. Well, I gotta cut this one. How many miles have we gone? We're 11 miles in. We're like 3 miles from the exit. Oh, another cool campsite. That's a good one. Gonna keep another mental note. But I gotta imagine probably pretty creepy camping out here, just because of how dense these woods are. I always like camping out in places where I feel like I can kind of see what's going on around me. That way nobody or nothing gets the jump on me. I don't know. I like having some kind of tactical advantage, especially when I'm camped alone. But still, I always kind of take mental notes of cool little camping spots when I find them. It's starting to look more like a dirt road. I think I see a bridge. Yeah, that looks like a dirt road to me. Well, you guys, I think I'm gonna end this video here. I'm feeling a whole lot better that I got out of that trail. Granted, it was pretty easy on the back half, but that first half had some interesting, kind of challenging sections. So yeah, I'm glad the back half wasn't as challenging as the front half. But yep, gonna end this video here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, do me a favor and hit the like button down below. I really appreciate it. And if you want to see more content just like this, definitely subscribe for more videos coming out in the future. As always, hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Adios, guys. A little bit more bonus footage for you guys. I was about to end the video, but look what I found more of. More bear crap. Man, they must be like all over this area. This is probably like the most that I've seen in a single day. I'll see little bits of bear crab like every now and then, but that's the third one that I've seen today. They are out and about right now. That is for sure. Alright, anyways, probably not that interesting. Bonus footage of looking at animal crap on the ground. Anyways, hope you guys like this video. Bye!